So it's my birthday today. And I can't sleep. So because I can't sleep, I decided to wake up and continue the conversation that I started with you a few weeks ago. And this is my birthday gift for myself, telling my story and helping people be brave enough to hopefully tell their own story and face their own truth. So happy birthday to me, I guess. I find it odd saying that to myself, I suppose. Um, but I guess if you can't be happy for yourself, then what's the point of being alive or happy at all? And again, I'm not happy. I'm depressed. I have anxiety. This is very hard for me, but I'm doing it anyway. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I shouldn't have started this, but I'm going to keep going because it helps people. So if you remember the last time that I filmed a video, I said that I would not write anything down. Well, I'm going to break that rule a little bit today in order to read a letter to you that is in front of me so that I can remember what I wrote down. As you know, the person who molested me was a female student from my school. She was not much older than me, and so there was no sort of punishment or trial for her. There was no sort of consequence for her. There was no sort of justice for me. And this letter that I have in front of me is, at least in part, an assignment from my counselor who asked me to write down my thoughts. And I did that. And because I like the law and I'm preparing to apply to law school, I figured the best way to get out my thoughts in an honest way, in a raw way, in a vulnerable way, was probably to write this letter as if it was a victim impact statement being delivered in court, which, if you don't know, is one of the last phases of criminal trials in which, at times, victims in a case are offered the chance to. I'm sorry about that. To tell the court how they feel. To tell the court and the world and the person who committed the crime how the crime will impact them and their lives going forward. And I have done my best to put my thoughts to paper and to get those thoughts out. Now, before I start, I will give you a bit of a trigger warning. This this letter does describe one of the encounters I had with this abuser in a bit of detail, and that can be triggering for some, and I understand that. So I'm going to tell you that in advance and offer you the opportunity to leave if you so choose to. I respect that. I validate that. That's your truth, your story. And this is mine. Um, some parts of this letter may surprise you, and that's okay too. If you've got questions for me about this letter, about my story, or what happened to me, or how I'm feeling now, feel free to reach out. I'd love to have your company. It is my birthday. Um, I'm a bit lonely today, to be honest. But I thought I'd do something good today. So happy birthday to me. And here we go. In reading this letter, I'm only going to use the person's first initial to protect her privacy and hopefully get to this experience a bit quicker and without crying. Okay. So this is called a letter to my abuser, and it's what I would say if I ever saw her again. Dear B, I must admit that I don't know what to say. It's been 18 years since I last saw you or heard your voice, but your voice is stained in my memory. Your voice is always present. Your laugh never leaves me. And I can still feel your hands all over me. I remember how you would touch me, fondling my penis and grabbing my testicles so hard that I would hear them pop, and how I tried and failed to stop you, so that essentially all I could do was close my eyes and grit my teeth to try and pass the time. I remember how you did this in every room of our school. How you followed me into bathrooms, stole my food, and even exposed yourself to me as we sat outside during field day. I remember what you said that day too. Want to hear a riddle? When I said yes, you said, "What short, stout, black, and in between the legs of my pajama pants?" My response was, "I don't know." At which point you pulled aside your blue pajama pants and revealed your vagina to me. I remember how shocked I felt and how wet it was when you took my finger and ran it across the opening. How you could continue to touch me and torture me like that, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, even while a close friend of mine suffered a seizure in the middle of the school library, is beyond me. I was 8 years old at that time. I'm 27 years old today, and yet in my horrified soul, I am stuck as that scared and traumatized little boy. It's why I don't like nighttime. It's why I crave sexual attention. And to be honest, it's why I fear children. Because I'm afraid that I will offend as a consequence and a result of having endured your abuse. And it's why I fear women and often have conflict with them. Because every woman I meet, including those in my own family, remind me of the pain that you put me through. You told me this is our little secret, our little game. You had the audacity to violate my body. In doing so, you tried to kill me. You kept me up at night, staring at the ceiling and dreading going to school. You robbed me of my innocence and kept me quiet for 17, almost 18 years. But I'm stronger than my past, and I will be silent no more. I have a future that you cannot disrupt. I have a destiny that you cannot destroy. I know in my heart that to move on, in order to move on, I have to forgive you. I forgive you for hurting me because you were hurt. I forgive you for stunting my growth. I forgive you for holding me back and making me live in fear. I have nothing but love in my heart for you. And as hard as it is, in the name of love and forgiveness, I offer you the same grace, empathy, mercy, and compassion which you failed to show me. And I wish you the best going forward with life. Sincerely, Elijah Sanders. And that's it. That's the letter I wrote. That's what I've wanted to say all these years. Now, I said it might surprise you. And the part that I think might surprise you is the part where I said I offer her forgiveness. And I truly do. I want her to be happy, to have a good life. And the only way that I can tell my story is to wish her that happiness and that good life, to give her that forgiveness and that peace. She failed me. And as we start our time together and we go into greater detail and we share with each other, I want you to remember that. Remember, you can forgive. You can rebuild. You can move on. You can do better. And you will be okay. Happy birthday to me. It's a new beginning.